Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is really to cut through some of the buzzwords and get a clear picture of how things are shifting. Specifically in the architecture, engineering, and construction world, AEC, we're zeroing in on how project information is managed and, more pointedly, how building information modeling, BIM, is evolving. And we're starting with a pretty bold claim from the source material we looked at. It basically says that by 2025, information management in AEC
Get
will
on.
be unrecognizable. So we're not talking small tweaks here, not just a software update. This suggests a fundamental change in how projects get designed, how teams collaborate, how everything gets delivered.
That word unrecognizable, yeah, that's really key because it signals that the whole idea of what a BIM model is, that's what's up for grabs. The sources are pretty direct about it.
Yeah.
Look, BIM as we use it today, it's vital, absolutely, but it's hitting a kind of ceiling. The speed of innovation now, the sheer complexity of projects, the amount of data.
Yeah.
Wow, the data we generate, it all demands something new, something more radical. We basically have to evolve because the old ways, even with current BIM, they're struggling.
Okay, right. So let's dig into that urgency. Why now? We all know BIM is central today. It's how we coordinate, spot clashes, visualize. It's the digital core of serious projects. But anyone who's sat in those coordination meetings or, tried to manage data across different project phases, the friction points, they're painful. We're talking about those endless interoperability issues, right?
All right.
Where the structural model just won't play nice with the MEP model.
Okay, yes, the translation headaches.
Exactly. And then there are the data silos. The site team has their data over here. The design office has theirs there. Maybe the client has yet another version. It's fragmented.
Completely fragmented.
And getting real-time insights when you actually need them, like on the ground, that's often a huge challenge.
And we should probably put a cost on that friction, shouldn't we? It's not just annoying.
No, it's real money.
Right. Those data silos, version control nightmares, they lead to massive risk. Rework. Wasted time. Millions. Easily. The sources really suggest the industry is just, well, fed up, tired of relying on manual workarounds, on people having to constantly stitch things together. So when that existing way of doing things, BIM, as this sort of static file starts hitting its limits, like the sources say.
It's ceiling.
Yeah, the ceiling. Then the whole system needs more than a patch. It needs replacing, really, a new approach.
Okay, so that sets the stage. If the current way is hitting a ceiling, what breaks through it? This is where I think it gets really transformative. The sources point to artificial intelligence and automation as the first massive driver of change. This isn't just about doing tasks faster. It's about changing how decisions get made. AI's role in streamlining delivery. Sounds huge. We're talking predictive analytics. So AI could look at, say, past concrete pour data, factor in the current weather on site, and actually predict a potential schedule problem weeks out before it even happens.
Exactly. It's moving from reactive problem solving to proactive risk mitigation. Spotting the issue before it becomes a real issue.
That's a big shift.
It is.
Okay.
And the automation to discuss here, it goes way beyond the sort of basic rules-based checks we might think of with BIM today. Sure, automated clash detection becomes faster, more continuous, almost instant. But the really disruptive part is generative design.
Okay. Explain that a bit more.
Well, this changes the role of the designer, fundamentally. Instead of you, the architect or engineer, drawing the solution.
You set the rules.
Precisely. You define the constraints. Maximum cost, maybe. Specific energy targets, structural loads, things like that. And the AI. It generates potentially thousands of different design options, all optimized based on your rules.
Wow, okay. So it explores possibilities humans just wouldn't have the time for.
Exactly. It moves beyond slow manual iteration. And connecting this back, machine learning also changes how information gets delivered.
How so?
It streamlines it. But more than that, it personalizes it. The sources talk about AI acting like an information concierge.
Okay, I like that.
So the site manager needs specific safety info, logistics details for that day. The structural engineer needs the latest stress analysis results.
Different needs, different data.
Right. AI makes sure the right relevant data stream gets to the right person efficiently. It cuts through all the noise from the full complex project data set. That idea of personalized, relevant data, that feels really key. If AI is handling who gets what data and when, then we need to talk about what that data is actually describing. And that takes us from the screen into the physical building itself, doesn't it? With digital twins.
The second pillar.
Now, we've heard digital twin thrown around a lot, but the vision here seems different. It's about a truly living replica of the project.
That distinction is critical. Living.
So for you listening, think about this. Many current digital twins are kind of static snapshots. They reflect the design intent, maybe as built at a point in time. The future described here. It's a twin that constantly updates itself in real time. It's like giving the physical building its own digital nervous system.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And what makes it live? The sources point to IoT sensors, Internet of Things.
Tiny, cheap sensors embedded everywhere.
Right, not just cameras. We're talking microsensors tracking material strain, temperature shifts, air quality, maybe humidity, all feeding data back constantly from the structure, from the site.
And the payoff for that continuous stream of data, it's incredibly practical, it's commercial. This isn't just a fancy 3D model for a presentation.
No, it's operational intelligence.
Exactly. The sources emphasize the insights covering the entire building lifecycle, long after the construction crews leave.
So things like maintenance.
Huge.
Here.
We move from scheduled maintenance, let's check the pumps every 6 months, to predictive maintenance.
Okay, how does that work?
The twin analyzes sensor data, maybe specific vibration patterns from a pump, and flags a potential failure before it happens. Hours, maybe days before.
So you fix it proactively. No emergency shutdown, no massive disruption.
Precisely. That saves enormous cost and hassle. And it extends to things like energy use, too. Optimizing heating, cooling, lighting in real time based on actual occupancy, actual conditions.
Which saves resources.
Directly. And maybe the most critical piece. These living digital twins finally bridge that gap, that huge handover chasm between construction and facility management.
Have a handover problem. Always tricky.
Always. Instead of just dumping a static BIM file or a stack of drawings on FM Team.
They get the keys to the living twin.
Essentially, yes. They inherit a dynamic operational model that's been learning and documenting itself since day one of construction. It knows its own history.
Okay, that transition from static file to dynamic operational asset that feels genuinely transformative. Right, so we've got AI personalizing data, digital twins generating live data. What's the third pillar? It seems to be about how we actually interact with all this information.
That's right. It's the human interface.
The metaverse of collaboration, using immersive environments, VR and AR, virtual and augmented reality. So this is about changing how we experience the digital model, like completely rethinking design reviews. Imagine putting on a VR headset and literally walking through a building that doesn't physically exist yet.
Yeah.
Stakeholders, even ones who aren't technical, who can't read complex drawings, they can just experience it.
Sear the space. Understand the scale.
Yeah, that boosts engagement massively, right? Everyone gets it immediately.
Yeah, it does. But the really radical step, according to the sources, goes beyond just one person walking through a model. It's the move to multi-user collaborative environments.
Okay, paint a picture for us.
Picture your project team. Maybe the lead architect's in New York, the HVAC expert is in London, the client's joining from Dubai.
All geographically dispersed?
Exactly.
Yep.
But in VR, they're all standing together inside the 3D model, as avatars, interacting with the design as if they were physically gathered around a table or even inside the building itself.
So they can point at things, mark up issues.
Instantly. Pointing, measuring, flagging clashes, making notes directly on the immersive digital replica, all happening simultaneously collaboratively.
That's collaboration accelerated, surely.
It is. Collaboration is speed. Now, the sources do touch on potential challenges like, collaboration fatigue, VR sickness.
Sure, practicalities.
Right. But, they argue, the practical benefits will drive adoption. Think beyond just design reviews.
Yeah.
Augmented reality overlays for site work.
How would that work?
Imagine a technician on site doing a complex installation. An expert, maybe hundreds of miles away, can see what the tech sees via AR glasses and guide them. Instructions, diagrams, warnings overlaid directly onto their view of the physical components.
Wow. Remote expertise right there.
Exactly. Or training. Practicing complex assembly tasks in a safe, virtual replica before touching the real thing. Huge potential there.
Okay, so let me try and bring this together. We've got these three massive shifts sort of converging. AI, making data smart and personal, living digital twins, generating that constant stream of real-world data, and then immersive environments, VR and AR, making all that data tangible, collaborative, experiential.
That's a good summary. They feed into each other.
And the sources, they don't just call this BIM 2.0 or something incremental like that. They synthesize it into something bigger.
They call it a seamless, integrated information ecosystem.
Ecosystem, that word feels important. It implies connection, flow.
Exactly. It's the direct opposite of those data silos we talked about earlier.
Right.
It's envisioned as one unified environment where information just flows instantly. between the design phase, the construction site, the operational building, the people involved, regardless of where you are in the project lifecycle.
So that's the conceptual leap we need to grasp.
I think that's the absolute core of it, yes. For you listening, the sources are saying, stop thinking primarily about static BIM models.
Those discrete files you save, version, archive.
Right. That model thinking is limiting. The future is about dynamic, interconnected data streams, information that's constantly flowing, accessible whenever and wherever you need it, in the format you need it.
So BIM itself changes its role. It's not the end product anymore.
It becomes the foundation. The underlying data structure, the framework that organizes everything and feeds all these other systems, the AI, the twin, the VR environments, it enables them.
Okay, maybe an analogy helps. It's like moving from delivering a final printed set of blueprints
Signed off, static.
to handing over access to a live, constantly updating project dashboard in the cloud.
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah. This whole integrated ecosystem promises project delivery that's just fundamentally faster,
Right.
more efficient, and radically more collaborative. Because the right information gets to the right person instantly without the friction.
Wow. Okay, so the big takeaway here seems clear. Projects aren't defined by static files anymore, but by this living, evolving stream of data. And that makes them inherently more efficient, definitely more collaborative, and I guess future-proof in a way, ready for whatever comes next.
I think that captures it well. And maybe that leads us to a final thought to leave you with, something to mull over.
Okay.
It builds on that idea of personalized, streamlined information delivery, the AI concierge idea we discussed. If the future really is defined by these dynamic, accessible data streams, not static models, then how do the actual roles and the required skills of people in AEC need to change? Think about everyone from the site superintendent to the architect to the facility manager. How do their jobs, their day-to-day tasks, their necessary skills change most drastically to actually leverage this personalized, dynamic information effectively? Because the data is there, but using it, that's the next challenge.
That's a really crucial question. It's not just about the tech, it's about the people using it. Definitely something to think about.